And some fishing nets.
Yep.
Pass the bottle, would you, Julius?
I hear voices again.
Yep.
This is a single malt, imported all the way from Hawkesbury, you know. It ain't the local pig swill they sell for.
Yeah, the drunk guys.
Do we go get this clamshell again?
Yeah, we can head down to the big shell now. Which should be this way? Yeah.
Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native, tender water. My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean. Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives peace. And treasure long sunk, I will grant thee. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. What do you say, kind knight? Will you...
Kindness is its own reward, and then there's the promise of treasure to boot.
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound witch. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
It's a chest.
It's got a mermaid's kiss in it. And some gold. And now there's some mermaids singing.
So that gives you...
Water resistance. 9 hit points.
time to deal with the drunks.
Calm down, Julius. Does it look like what...
Just hold your tongue with you, Bibius. Can't be too careful.
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we...
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has book...
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Excuse me. I'm not going to be pushed around by
Two guards on.
I
The two on guard duty and then drunk.
Too.
Not quite a good decision.
Do me a favor and calm down, would you? Wouldn't want you to get hurt.
These two almost mistook us for orcs and would have attacked us for no reason.
Looks like we have to
We must
play
rid
paper,
the city
scissors, rock.
from menaces such as these.
You can see my screen though.
Yeah, but if I don't look, then it's a fair game. definitely better at paper, scissors, rock than I am.
Not really.
No, no, we'll do as I say, and there's an end to it.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city.
I see some people a little further along having a fight.
What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody orcs!
Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big...
Lovely day for a swig and a song, isn't it?
And they're
Fairly
running
well.
away. There's a short sword here, one for you, and a bow.
There's nothing in there. What's the green dots by my character mean?
Those are pluses, and they mean you have level up points to assign.
How do I do that?
When it's your turn, you can open up your inventory, and then there will be different panels that have markers showing that there's points on them. That, and then set that one on fire.
The flesh from your bones.
You want to be able to use two-handed weapons?
Yeah.
Fair enough. In the weapons bit, when you hover over it, it does say for like two-handed, it gives a 10% critical chance boost and base critical multiplier to 220. So it just increases your proficiency at using them. Which means you have a better chance at crits and that sort of thing. Shines and not nice. You got it easily. Just reach that cultist. Has to be a normal shot. Oh, and it's still the orc trooper they're lying down.
Meet your demise!
And you can only take a small step because you have 1 point.
Death is its own deliverance! Did you see that? those orcs had a human commander.
I'm very curious.
Now we have the city. We got approached by a cat.
But I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed. But to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yet still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your... Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worship. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves. The undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To be out in the night. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than me. I'm glad we've met, Source. Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunt. Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
There's a burning body.
How do we put it out?
Rain scroll.
How do I do that?
Open your inventory. Right click on it. Cast skill. And then over the boat. And the boat is saved. Mostly. It's very burnt. And I'm right behind you.
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? So what do you think? Should...
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish? This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got to... Fed a hungry man, you know.
Time's a-wasting.
The person we need to talk to is in here.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar.
Sounds like you've got a bit of an attitude.
I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate, Jake. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with... if you must. If you must. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by... How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses... Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I hadn't been stuck here for 2 years.
He is a bit of a grumpy guy.
Let's go star over here.
That's because that leads up to Ahu's study.
Should we go up there?
You can do, but I don't think there's anything at this moment that you've not already talked to him about.
Oh, Marky! Drink, if you please. Back, demon! I'll tell you. You wouldn't. Medars, heavens. See, there's been what they want in Hunter. I came south, seek by the... I managed to wrench... Welcome. I've been scouting Sicil for some... Well, you know... That's the spirit.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
What happened? It was lightning.
You interacted with a starstone.
Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible! 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 It will consume us all! Oh, yes, proper introductions. Zigzax the historian at your service. It is my job. As for how I got here, well, for a how you got here on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time. Ah, at last a question I can answer. Most time ought naturally to have no end at all. Show, don't tell. I always...
It may be quite mad.
Then we...